You can create some amazing footage with your smartphone. Everything you see here was shot on an iPhone. So I'm going to show you how you can create amazing cinematic shots using only a smartphone and a handheld gimbal. Hello everyone, for this video I'm going to be using the iPhone 11 Pro and the Osmo Mobile 3. Using the gimbal gives you smoother and more professional shots. It adds a lot of quality for not a lot of money, so I highly recommend one. Now, let me show you some moves. Gimbals make everything smoother, but they are not perfect. Instead of being perfectly steady, you often get this wavy bump in your shot. The solution? Walk like a ninja. Walk heel to toe, just like a ninja. And be careful of your speed. If you are moving at normal walking pace, you are probably going too fast. Slow and steady is the answer here. Moving forward and backwards sounds simple, but if you know when to use them, it can work really well. For more personal moments, walk closer to your subject. It's best to use the ultra wide-angle lens if you have one for more dramatic framing. And don't be afraid to shoot the same thing a second time. I like using one of the zoom lenses to capture more emotion and body language. Walking backwards is great if you want to set the scene. It can be a really good tool to give some context to the scene. And it can really work well as a way to isolate your subject. An easy way to make things look cinematic: parallax. Look for a foreground object, center it in your shot, and slightly move to one side. It gives your shot more depth and looks great. With a gimbal, you can go further by walking alongside the subject of your video. The lower you go, the better your shots, so try to go as slow as possible. With the iPhone 11 Pro, the ultra wide angle really makes these low shots look more epic. One thing to note, you have to hold the Osmo sideways to pull this off. It's not as steady when used this way, so be careful. Okay, you have seen shots like this before in movies. But with multiple lenses on the iPhone 11 Pro, you have more options for doing this yourself. You can use the ultra-wide lens for a better sense of scale, or shoot with a zoom lens to make the background move faster. If you really want to go full Michael Bay, ask your subject to turn slightly in the opposite direction for a really dramatic shot. Don't be afraid to try this multiple times to get the sense of speed just right. You don't want to go too fast and make people dizzy. This is one of my favorites. This movement is all about going up or down with the gimbal. Basically, I prop my body down in a squat, then slowly stand up. So here I start low, then slowly go up to the head. It reveals your subject in a very cinematic way, and it's easy to do. But it's a bit tiring. Here's a really good intro shot if you are in a good-looking location. Here I will start with my iPhone pointed at the sky. Then I tilt it towards my subject as I walk forward. You can do the same with the ground too, except here you are starting low, then aiming high. If you want a drone-like effect without actually using one, Try adding a selfie stick to the gimbal. Extend it to its longest reach and hold it as slow and steady as possible. Then you can lift it high in the air and do a typical crane movement for a really good looking shot. Don't be afraid to repeat a shot to get it just right, or to try it with a slightly different approach. Here, I'm shooting my subject by standing in front of her and walking backwards. I asked her to walk again, but this time I stood behind her and followed. Then I did it again with all 3 lenses, ultra wide, medium, and a tight shot. You can see how even this simple shot can look so different each time. With these simple tips, you should be able to shoot some really cinematic video. Keep mixing and matching to find the right shot for the right occasion. And be sure to let us know how you're doing.